Hello friends, welcome to the Academy channel. I say the channel where we always try to explain mathematics in an easy and simple way. The channel where you have more than 700 mathematics tutorials of all levels, explained step by step, grouped into more than 70 lists and classified that way so that it costs you very little. In today's tutorial Today I bring you a trigonometry tutorial in which I am going to explain the use of the formulas, specifically those of the double and half angle. It is a typical first-year high school exercise that, as always, I will try to explain step by step so that everything is understood. I hope it is like that. If so, and if you are comfortable with it, leave me a comment, and if you don't like it, there is no problem. Come on, I'm not going to mess around anymore. After the intro we begin to explain it. Good. The exercise says that knowing that the sine of alpha is equal to 2/3 and that 90 is less than alpha less than 180, that is, alpha belongs to the second quadrant. We find moment cosine of A. Well, the fundamental formula of trigonometry. I think you all already know her. Square sine of alpha plus cosine. Square of alpha equal to 1, since we have the sine, which is 2/3. Well, we would put 2/3 squared plus cosine squared of alpha equal to 1 2/3 squared. 2 is raised and 3 is raised. Raising a fraction raises both terms, therefore it will give 4/9 plus cosine squared of alpha equal to 1. This 4/9 will go to the other side to solve the square cosine, since we will pass the 4/9 to the right and as it changes sides it changes sign. We will have the square cosine of alpha equal to 1 minus 4/9. Well, now we are going to do this operation, which obviously is a subtraction, since we will have to find the least common multiple, which cannot be any other number than 9, because it is the only denominator there is. Therefore, we put 9 here as the least common multiple and we say 9 between 1 and times 1 will give 9 minus 9. Between 9 will give 1 times 4. 4 minus 4. 9 minus 4 is 5. So cosine alpha square equal to 5/9. And to remove the square, remember that the square root is always taken. Therefore we will have the cosine of alpha equal to plus minus the square root of 5/9. Well, here we have to stop a little because let's think about something like alpha belonging to the second quadrant. It is between 90 and 180. So the cosine in this case, being from the second quadrant, is negative. Therefore we are going to put cosine of alpha equal to minus the root of 5/3. I have put negative, I insist, because alpha belongs to the second quadrant and therefore the cosine there is negative. In section B we are asked for the tangent of alpha. You already know that the tangent of an angle is the quotient between its sine and its cosine. Since we have the two data, because the sine was given to us by the exercise which was 2/3 and the cosine, we have just found what is worth the minus root of 5 divided by 3, since it is that quotient that must be solved to calculate said tangent. At the moment the 3 can be eliminated. The more the less would give the less, and between tangent of alpha we are left with minus 2 divided by the root of 5. Whenever you can, do not leave a result with a root in the denominator. The best thing is to rationalize if you don't remember. By the way, I have it explained on my channel. You just have to go there and look for it in the radicals section, which I remind you was done in the following way. In this case, to delete this root, simply multiply up and down by the root in the denominator and then we are left with this initially. So less for more is less. In the numerator we will have 2 roots of 5 and in the denominator root of 5 times root of 5. Since it is the root of 25, well that gives 5 and in this way we have already eliminated the root and this is the correct way to express the result. I hope that it has been clear. Let's go to section C. This exercise, by the way, this tutorial has 4 sections. Let's go for the third. Here I have put what we have already calculated and now. Well, the initial statement of course, just as before and now in section C, asks us for the sine of 2 alpha, that of the double angle, the sine of the double angle, which is this formula of here. It is calculated by doing the following operation 2 for the sine of alpha that we know is worth 2/3, the statement. Gave it, and for the cosine of alpha that we calculated a moment ago that was worth less root of 5 divided by 3. I have put it in parentheses because a for and a minus cannot be touched. They have to be separated in a parenthesis, and to solve this it is very simple. Alpha is going to give more for less. At the moment we know that it will give less in the numerator. Remember that to multiply fractions you multiply straight, so 2 times 2, 4 times the root of 5. All of that goes up to the numerator, and 3 times 3, which is 9 for the denominator. We already have sine of 2 alpha equal to minus 4 root of 5 times 9. And now we only have the last section left. As I say, it has 4 sections. The only thing missing is this one, which is the cosine of alpha means. That is the half angle, whose formula is the following. The one that will appear here, which is plus minus the root of 1 plus cosine of alpha between 2. We will end up with this cosine of alpha half to the root of 1 plus minus root of 5 thirds, all between 2. Before operating with this, I want to tell you one thing. I have not put anything more or less here in front of you, and we are going to analyze the situation. Alpha was an angle of the second quadrant. Therefore it ranges between 90 and 180. Since you are asking us for the cosine of an angle that is half of alpha, whatever it is worth, half of alpha surely belongs to the first quadrant, and there the cosine is positive. Therefore, here we leave one more and then we can operate with this. At the moment it is very simple. More for less would give less, we will be left with 1 less. 5 thirds between 2. And we continue operating above. There would be that. To solve this subtraction you have to make the least common multiple. We initially leave the bottom 2 as it is. I put the plus back in, by the way, and now here's least common multiple. Obviously it will be 3 because it is the only denominator there is. And now we proceed to do the usual 3 times 1, and times 1 will give 3. Minus 3 between 3 to 1 times less root of 5, since it gives less root of 5. To make this interior castle, remember that under the 2 it is as if there were a 1, and then we multiply the extremes, which would be 3 minus the root of 5 times 1. All of that would go to the numerator, and 3 times 2, which is 6, which are the 2 middles, would result in the denominator, and we have it. Perfect. Well, this is it. I hope this tutorial has been clear. I really did like it, and especially if it helps you, I would be very happy. Well, boys and girls, I just want to wish you as always the best wishes for your studies. Just remind you that on Wednesdays and Sundays I usually upload new tutorials, so do not miss any of the materials that I upload to my channel. The best thing to do. As always, I recommend that you subscribe and hit the bell. Come on, I'm not going to mess around anymore. Just say goodbye to you. A hug, boys and girls. See you in future tutorials. Be happy.